Welcome back to the show. This week, for my guest, I actually have the person who suggested our quote of the week last week, and that is Josh Contraguerro from Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. Josh, thanks for being here today on the show. Thanks for suggesting the quote of the week last week, which was "The cream always rises to the top," which you know it does.
Oh, yeah.
But good to have you here on the show. And I want to talk a little bit about Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. A couple different divisions now, multiple locations. People see your spots with the, seeing that you have a Wheeling, that you have Morgantown, that you have Pittsburgh. But the company has really grown from its initial days, which started out with your dad by himself.
Yeah, and he went door to door and got contracts, and we actually started out as a carpet cleaning company, and many people here in Wheeling that knew where he came from still remembers us as Panhandle Carpet Cleaning, and we've come a long way in these 40 years, but still true to our roots, and with my dad's guidance and still there every day, he makes sure we don't forget it and we stay on the right path.
Of course, he started the business because his father passed away when your dad was only 16 and needed to help support the family, and he actually only went to school half a day and then would the second half of the day go out and, as you said, knock on doors and asking people, can I clean your carpets for you? So it took a lot of drive, initiative, foresight on his part to do that as a youngster, and then now to build into the company it is today with all the employees, well over 100 employees, vehicles all over the place. Hard to go somewhere without seeing a Panhandle truck.
Yes, it is. It's exciting to see, especially when we go into some of these other areas. When we worked Hurricane Sandy, to see Panhandle trucks driving through New York City. I mean, it's a really cool feeling.
Speaking of going to other areas, of course, this summer, devastating flooding in the southern part of West Virginia, down in Greenbrier County and the other southern counties in the state of West Virginia. But you guys were on the scene very quickly and still have people down there working to try to help that part of our state rebuild.
Yes, and the key is still trying to rebuild. I mean, these families and these businesses and homes, they're going to be rebuilding for years. They lost their lives, really. So long after the media leaves, long after donations stop coming, these people are still going to be rebuilding. So it's a great feeling to be there to help to get businesses back open so that their employees can get paychecks so that they can fix their own homes and things like that. So our guys had a great sense of pride going down there and helping those people.
People may not realize, but one of the nice things about Panhandle is you have response teams 24 hours a day. So somebody has something happen in the middle of the night, a water break or a fire or whatever else may happen that's a disaster that affects their lives, they can call Panhandle day and night.
Yeah, 24 hours a day, like you said. Holidays, I mean, disasters don't know it's a holiday, doesn't know it's Christmas Eve morning. And our guys, they're on the road within a matter of an hour or so. They're moving. We have the trucks already all stocked and ready to go. The employees know their roles and know what they're going to do. They're ready to help families or businesses through that devastation.
What's the coolest place you guys have gotten to work or see?
I would have to say the Intrepid Museum in New York City after Hurricane Sandy. It was a really, really cool experience to be part of.
Yeah. There's another division now of Panhandle, which is Panhandle Custom Homes, Kitchens, and Baths. And that division actually responsible for building this beautiful set we have here on the show. Bruce down there always does a great job and wonderful guy. But tell our viewers a little bit about what does that division do, the Custom Homes, Kitchens, and Baths, and a little bit about your showroom there.
Yeah. So although it sounds newer, we're starting to promote it more. We've been doing, for instance, kitchens and baths and home renovations and remodeling for years after fires, after a flood or after a fire comes through and devastates the kitchen. We've been the ones redesigning, reestablishing, and rebuilding the kitchen. So now we've done to where you don't have to have a disaster. You don't need to have that negative starting point. You can plan ahead, and we have our own on-staff kitchen designer. You mentioned Bruce, the custom aspect of it. Bruce can do basically anything that your mind can come up with. He can make it, and that's where that division goes. And whether it's a basement build out or a kitchen remodel, a bathroom remodel, room addition to building a complete new home construction from scratch, we can do the whole thing and walk with you every step of the way. So you always have that designated project manager walking you through to each division that we hold, and you don't have to worry about, oh, well, we found this guy for this and this guy for that. We are that guy.
Yeah, it does make it nice that you have one stop, whether it be a disaster that's happened or just a new build out. You have a showroom where people can actually go look at the products, look at the cabinets, look at the tile, look at the various things they may want to put into their home and pick it out right there.
Exactly, and you can, and instead of trying to look through a book, you have the large samples. You can put them together and say, is this countertop going to look good with this cabinet, with this tile, and really have them all together right there, feel it, touch it, see how it works, and see all the cool features that these cabinet designers and such are coming up with. Some really cool storage capabilities and making the space bigger than it really is, and that's what everybody wants these days, more space.
And you do marketing there at Panhandle,
Yes.
so you've got to promote all that,
Yeah.
and you obviously do a wonderful job with it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's tough sometimes because we're fortunate we do so much. So it's you got to be able to touch base on everything, and it's a lot of products and a lot of videos that I'm watching late at night, laying in bed watching how-to videos and what this new, whether it's a piece of drying equipment that we have on the restoration side or a new product line that we're carrying on the custom home side. It's a fun balance for me.
We need to take a break. When we come back, we'll continue talking to Josh Contraguerro, but we'll turn our attention to his background as a college football player and what that's like. Stay with us on the Jamie Bordas Show. Welcome back to the show. We're speaking with this week's guest, Josh Contraguerro of Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration. We've talked a little bit about the business side of things. Now, I want to talk college football. It's September and college football is underway, and Josh was a college football player for West Virginia University, not something that many people in this area have gotten to do over the course of the years. And what's it like being a college football player?
It's really some of the best years, met some of the best people, but a lot of work. And a lot of people see the Saturday afternoon games, and like you said, it's football season's here. It's my personal favorite time of the year, football season, especially college football. It'll always have a special place in my heart, but the work that goes in the other 6 days out of the week is where the life is different than a normal college student.
Well, people may not understand that. I mean, what is the typical day for a college football player like? Start off in the morning and take us through the day.
So realistically, for the most part, I mean, you're starting your day, you're reporting on a football property, for instance, around 6 a.m. You're going through your 6 a.m. workouts, your conditioning. Even during the season, you're still working out conditioning. You might take a 45-minute after that to go to the training room to get treatment, to get ice on a rough shoulder or rough neck, or to go through physical therapy, rehabilitating a rolled ankle or something like that. And then it's, for instance, 8:30, 9 o'clock. The rest of the college population's just getting out of bed, maybe to go to class, and you've already put in 3 hours.
With me, it was usually 10:30 or 11.
So then you're going to sit in class there for a good chunk of the day. Obviously, classes, there are breaks and such. So, and then you got about 2:15 rolls around, and you're reporting back to the stadium. You got practice then, and then films and then practice. Sometimes it's flip-flopped. You get your dinner at 6 p.m. You might go back and hit the training room again if you have a lingering injury. You get out there, say 7:30, 8 o'clock. Realistically, you're putting in 14-hour days, and you think about 14-hour day now outside of school, and that's a long work day, and you really are working, whether it's mentally with school and film or physically with treatments and workouts. You're putting in those 14-hour days every day.
Of course, then you have to still do your schoolwork,
Exactly.
your homework, like everybody else does too. When you get out there at that point late in the day, and try to keep up those studies, which of course you did. You had tremendous academic success at WVU, but not easy to do when you're putting in that type of hours and you're tired, you're worn out from all those things.
Yeah, you just want to go home and go to bed, but you're off to a library to meet for a group project or go home and study for a midterm or something. But that lifestyle teaches and instills stuff that goes well into what my career is like now, and seeing my friends and what they're doing with their careers now, and you learn how to get things done when you don't think there's enough time, or mentally or physically do something that you thought you never could, and that grows in you, that's in your mind, and it helps you to organize your time better at work. And there's companies throughout the country that really focus on college athletes because they know they have that discipline to turn down going out to a party with a friend because they have to work the next day, and they're not going to go do something that could be deemed wrong or something like that. So it really helps you in the long run.
Of course, you started off as a walk-on at WVU. Your last year, you were awarded a scholarship as a result of your hard work, and quite an accomplishment to be awarded a scholarship by a Division I program in the Big 12 like West Virginia.
Yeah, thank you. That was it was definitely something that was unexpected. Just going about what I felt was needed to do, doing what some people would say is extraordinary, but I was putting in the work, getting the grades, still doing the work. I was not missing things, and it was great to be recognized by the coaching staff for my hard work.
Of course, your last year there, Coach Holgerson's first year as the head coach.
Yes.
And resulted in your final game, the 70-33 big win over Clemson in the Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
What was it like playing for Coach Holgerson?
It was it was definitely different than Coach Stu, Coach Bill Stewart. Fantastic guy, always will hold a special place in my heart. But different isn't always bad. So it was a good different, and he's starting to get things more comfortable as a head coach. It was his first year as a head coach even, and then to go at a program at that level and coming off some good years. So he had a lot of pressure. He's dealing with it well. He's a fantastic guy. He cares about his players just like a Coach Stu did. Cares about what they're doing, cares about are they going to class, and are they doing the right things outside of football. And that's the biggest thing, is for coaches to actually take the time to know their players and make sure that their life outside of football is going as well as their life inside of football. And Coach Holgerson does that.
You've continued to have a relationship with him. Your Panhandle has, of course, a partnership with WVU Athletics, and even see Coach Holgerson on the Panhandle commercials now.
Yeah, and riding on the side of my truck too. And he's, like I said, and it's fun now to see, or great now to see the development that's changed over the last few years, and still being connected with the program the way I am, and getting to see that kind of what some of the outsiders or normal fans would see as maybe rough edges is smoothed over, and he's a fantastic guy, competitor. I mean, you don't get to where you are, whether you're an athlete or a coach at that level. I mean, heck, even in high school, nobody wants to lose. Nobody wants to not succeed. So, I mean, he puts his heart and soul into it, and he truly bleeds West Virginia. I mean, it's neat, the stuff he's put in effect with the program, with like the man trip and bringing the coal to the inside of the stadium for every player to touch. And they go through basically a West Virginia 101 now when they bring in out-of-state players. And really, that blue-collar work ethic, he's really emphasizing, and he's doing a great job with it.
We need to take a break. When we come back, we're going to keep Josh Contraguerro on the show. We'll continue talking college football. We'll talk our other sports and award our sports person of the week. Stay with us on the Jamie Bordas Show.